Donald Trump has once again found himself at the center of a major political controversy after he refused to apologize for using a harsh slur against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Instead of backing down, Trump fully defended his comment, which has caused strong reactions across the political spectrum, including from a Republican lawmaker who openly called him out. The entire incident started on Thanksgiving night when Trump posted a long message on his platform, Truth Social. The post was mainly about Minnesota's Somali community, but during it, he made a very aggressive remark about Governor Walz, calling him the seriously governor of Minnesota. The post grabbed attention instantly, not only because of the slur, but also because Trump used it while talking about immigrant communities in Minnesota. A few days later, during an interview aboard Air Force One on November 30, Trump was asked about the slur directly. Instead of softening his stance or clarifying his language, he doubled down. He repeated his opinion that Walz has done something wrong, and again accused the Minnesota governor of prioritizing Somali immigrants over other Minnesotans. Trump also launched into a long complaint about United States foreign aid to Somalia, even going as far as saying the East African nation is not even a country. He argued that the U.S. is giving billions of dollars to a place that doesn't function like a country, saying it only has the label of a country but not the stability or organization of one. His comments quickly spread online and added fuel to the already growing criticism around his choice of words. Trump insisted that anyone who would make the same decisions as Walz must have something wrong with them. He repeated this line several times during the interview, putting extra emphasis on the idea that Walz's support for Somali immigrants is somehow proof that he is unfit for office. His remarks were not only directed at Walz as a politician, but also framed in a way that seemed to attack entire communities. Because of this, the response online was immediate and extremely divided. Trump supporters defended him as always, while critics described the comments as cruel, discriminatory, and irresponsible for someone holding the highest office in the country. But the strongest reaction, and the one that surprised many political observers, came from inside Trump's own party. The Republican Senator Mike Bohasek of Indiana posted a message on Facebook criticizing Trump's use of the slur. Bohasek did not hold back. He explained that his second daughter has Down syndrome and said that Trump's repeated use of such derogatory language is deeply hurtful to families like his. This made the criticism much more personal and much harder to ignore. Bohasek explained that he's been an advocate for people with intellectual disabilities ever since his daughter was born. He reminded people that many families across America face struggles that are misunderstood or mocked by society, and that hearing such insults from the president can deepen their pain. Bohasek also made it clear that this is not the first time Trump has used similar language. He pointed out that for years, Trump has made insensitive and offensive comments about various groups of people, and he said that words like these have consequences. As a Republican criticizing a Republican president, Bohasek's post quickly began trending online. Many people praised him for taking a stand, while others warned that publicly criticizing Trump is politically risky inside the party. Regardless, the senator's message added a strong emotional dimension to the controversy, shifting the conversation from politics to basic human respect. Governor Walz himself also responded to Trump's comments, but instead of directly stating his outrage, he took a more sarcastic approach. When Trump posted the slur on Truth Social, Walz replied on X, formerly Twitter, with a short but sharp message to release the MRI results. This jab was a reference to the MRI test Trump took earlier in the month. Trump had said he would release the perfect results, even though he did not seem to know which part of his body had actually been scanned. Walz's reply suggested that if Trump was going to question his mental health, then Trump should be willing to show proof of his own. The feud between Trump and Walz escalated quickly across social media, with both sides receiving strong support and criticism. But what made Trump's insult toward Walz even more personal was the fact that Walz's own son, Gus Walz, lives with multiple learning and developmental challenges, including having a nonverbal learning disorder, ADHD, and an anxiety disorder. Because of this, many people felt Trump's slur crossed not just a political line, but a moral one as well. Although the president did not mention Walz's son directly, the slur he repeated is one that has historically been used to mock people with disabilities, which made his comment even more painful for families dealing with those struggles. In the following days, more examples of Trump's harsh language toward others came into the spotlight. The Walz insult was not the only one causing attention. He also called Bloomberg reporter Catherine Lucy Piggy when she asked him about the newly released Epstein files. Later, he insulted New York Times reporter Katie Rogers, calling her ugly, both inside and out, in yet another Truth Social post. These comments added to the growing perception that Trump is becoming more aggressive than ever with his words, and that he no longer tries to limit or soften his public insults. All of these attacks together painted a picture of a president who seems comfortable escalating personal fights with politicians, reporters, and critics. Many political analysts began discussing whether Trump's behavior is becoming more unpredictable and more openly hostile than in previous years. Some analysts believe he is doing this intentionally to energize his base and keep public attention focused on him. Others argue that this kind of language damages the dignity of the office and creates unnecessary hostility. Still, what made this particular controversy different was the clear reaction from someone within Trump's own political party. Bohasek's public criticism showed that even some Republicans are no longer willing to stay silent when Trump uses language that directly targets vulnerable groups. His message also triggered larger conversations about how political leaders should talk about disabilities and how powerful figures influence society's treatment of disabled individuals. For many families, Bohasek's statement was a sign that the issue goes beyond politics. It is about compassion, basic respect, and awareness of the struggles many families quietly face. The situation also sparked debates on how political leaders should talk about immigrant communities. Trump's long comments about Somali immigrants and his claim that Walz has somehow given them special treatment reflect deeper political tension around immigration policies. Minnesota has one of the largest Somali American populations in the country, and many community members responded by saying Trump's words were offensive and harmful. They argued that immigrants contribute significantly to the economy and culture of Minnesota, and that portraying them as a burden is unfair and dangerous. As all of this unfolded, political commentators emphasized that the atmosphere in American politics continues to grow more tense. The combination of harsh language, public fights, and controversial social media posts has increased the feeling of instability. Trump's refusal to back down from his slur and Bohasek's emotional criticism added another chapter to the ongoing debate about leadership behavior and public responsibility. Overall, the situation highlighted a few major things. First, Trump is unlikely to change his communication style, no matter how many people criticize him. Second, the use of offensive language, especially toward people with disabilities, is no longer going unchecked within the Republican Party. And third, the increasing personal attacks in politics show that the country remains divided not just in opinion, but in tone and values as well. As Trump continues to make headlines with his unpredictable remarks, many people believe that the political landscape may become even more intense in the coming months, with no clear sign that these heated exchanges will slow down anytime soon.